Hey guys, it's Alex with Sena, and today we're going to be doing the install video for the brand new 60S, and today we're going to be using the HJC CS R3 helmet. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so before we get started, make sure you go ahead and get yourself a helmet donut. It really helps to prevent you from scratching your expensive helmet. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the cheek pads and the inner liner. It just makes the process so much easier when you're figuring out how to tuck away your wires and all that good stuff. So I go ahead and pull that out, and I pull that right through the front, as you can see right there. So you have two options for helmet clamps. As you can see, this has the fixed boom mic and this one does not. We're going to be using this one because we're going to be using a full face helmet and a wired mic. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and install the helmet clamp on the helmet. So when you're installing it, it's going to be a little bit tough because you actually have the rubber of the helmet and the rubber of the clamp. So just finesse it and it'll go in smoothly. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put in our Harman Kardon speakers. One thing to keep in mind is make sure you pick the right one because you do get two in the box. Make sure it has this red little tag right here. This is for the wired mic that we're going to be using for the full face helmet. Another thing you want to keep in mind, this product is waterproof. There is a little gasket right here. Make sure it's there. So when you clip the harness onto the helmet clamp, there's going to be two processes. You clip it on, and then this little guy right here has a safety. So you're going to go ahead and install it, and you're going to go ahead and push it in. You'll hear it snap, and you're good to go. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and hook up our wired mic to our harness. As you can see, there's little arrows. You have a male arrow and a female arrow. Go ahead and line those up, and then you'll push them together, and you'll hear it click. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is get your hook and loop fastener and go ahead and install it. So we're going to do the same thing on the left side of the helmet. Go ahead and install your hook and loop fastener. So at this point we have the speakers, as you can see, hooked up to our harness. And if you notice, the speaker wires have two different lengths. You have a short one and a long one. Just make sure you put the speaker, when you put it to your hook and loop, it's on the side of the comm system, and the longer one goes on the right side of your helmet. Just keep that in mind. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put the speaker. Make sure that the speaker wire is pointing to the back so it's easier to tuck in to the inner liner. Make sure you guys press on that really good so it sticks to the hook and loop. All right, so the last hook and loop you're going to install is the one for the wired mic. So when you go ahead and put the mic on the hook and loop, make sure that the harness is shooting back because you got to tuck it in. Just like that. One last thing I forgot to mention is we have speaker pads, and these are going to help to bring in the speakers closer into your ears for fine tuning. For me in particular, my head's kind of big. I don't need these, so I won't be using these, but just keep in mind you have these. They're also hook and loops, and they'll hook up to extend the speakers to get a little closer to your ears. So the next thing you want to do is go ahead and tuck in all your wires, and then you're going to pull down the inner liner. And I'll tuck the wires in here. And then you're going to have clips, so you just got to clip it on. There's one. There's two. All right, so the next thing is we're going to go ahead and put our cheek pad. We're going to start with the one on the right side of the helmet. Go ahead and put your helmet chin strap in. And usually they'll have 3 red clips or a bright color so you can find them. And go ahead and snap those into place. There's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to tuck this between the liner and the hard shell of the helmet. Like so. So now we're going to go ahead and put the cheek pad on the left side of the helmet. Like I was showing you guys before, you usually have 3 clips on most manufactured helmets. Go ahead and put the chin strap through the cheek pad, and we'll get 3 clicks like we did before. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to put this plastic piece of the cheek pad in between the liner and the hard shell. And there you go. That's it. One more thing I want to talk about is on the helmet clamp, you have this little magnet cover. Now what this is for is in the box you have 2 helmet clamps so you can have 2 different setups. And if it's sitting in the garage, you don't want this getting dust. So we have this little cover here so your USB-C doesn't get full of dust. But one thing I did earlier when I was installing it, I was trying to install it. That's not really on. On the bottom of the 60S, you have that USB-C female. And when you take this little dust cover off, you're going to have the USB-C male, and this goes on there with the magnetic clamp. So that's it for the brand new Sena 60S install video. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below, and we'll try our best to assist you. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.